Welcome back to Maths with Mrs. J. I mentioned at the end of our last video that we don't like leaving a surd with an irrational denominator. I have also mentioned this in our trigonometry topic as well when we were talking about our exact values in the unit circle. I'm going to teach you how to rationalise a denominator. It's actually relatively simple, and we're actually going to use, well, I guess it's a little bit of our difference of two squares algebra that we've done. If we've just got a single surd in the denominator, like root 3, we know that it's perfectly okay to multiply something by any version of 1 that we like. Root 3 on root 3, I haven't changed this, I've just multiplied it by 1, but I've chosen our version of 1 accordingly. And I've chosen that because root 3 by root 3 will give me 3. Okay, I've rigged it that way. So no longer do I have an irrational denominator. Our numerator will be 2 root 3, which will be irrational. That's okay. We can't completely rid ourselves of the fact that we've got an irrational number, but we just prefer it without an irrational denominator. We're going to do the same thing with this one. We've just got a square root 5 in the denominator. So our version of 1 that we're going to pick is root 5 on root 5. Obviously, our denominator, square root 5 times square root 5 is just 5. Our numerator, root 2 by root 5 is root 10. And there we go. Now, these two are a little bit more tricky. However, I've already hinted at what we're going to use. We're going to use difference of two squares. Remember that a plus b times a minus b is a squared minus b squared. What we do here is we're going to multiply by what's called the conjugate surd over the conjugate surd. Now, by conjugate surd, basically, you have the same terms, but you just change the sign. That way we have rigged it so that the bottom will end up being 2 squared minus root 3 squared, which is just 3. Let me just say that again. When we multiply out our denominator, this is like our a minus b, a plus b. This is a squared minus b squared. Remember, root 3 squared is just 3. In our numerator, we're going to get this. Now, you can leave it like that or you can expand it out. It's up to you. The denominator is going to end up just 1 because 4 minus 3 is 1. So you can expand if you like and leave it as 4 plus 2 root 3. It wouldn't be wrong to leave it as 2 bracket 2 plus root 3. That's okay. All right, what's our conjugate surd going to be here? It doesn't matter that both of these are surds as long as we have root 5 minus root 2 on root 5 minus root 2. What's happening is with our difference of two squares, because we're squaring both of these, it doesn't matter whether they're both surds or only one of them's a surd. It's not a problem at all. So our denominator will end up as root 5 squared, which is 5, minus root 2 squared, which is 2. Our numerator, we're going to do some expansion in just a tick. So our denominator obviously is just 3. When we expand, we're going to get square root 10 minus root 2 by root 2 is 2, and we'd leave it like that. And there you have it. That was a very brief journey into our topic of surds, but because it's very algebraic, I think as long as you do a lot of practice, you should be fine.